things first, Super Bowl champ Greg Jennings is here. Hi, Greg.
Good to see you, Greg.
Good to be seen.
How is it going?
It's going great. A nice rainy morning this
Yeah, that's been our spring
New
so
York
far.
was nice yesterday, though. It was
Yeah.
nice yesterday afternoon.
Rain.
That's not a
Nice.
complaint. I'm in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a good point.
Let me
Very
clarify
good.
that.
It's a good point.
We'll
Y'all act
take
like
that.
y'all work outside.
More fallout now, Greg Jennings, from the Cowboys releasing Dez Bryant. From 2012 to 2014, Dez had nearly 4,000 receiving yards. The next 3 years, he had just over 2,000, cut in half if you're doing math. Still, Dez didn't blame his poor play for the reason he was cut. Instead, he blamed, quote, Garrett's guys, in a reference to the team's head coach, Jason Garrett. Garrett himself, though, said the decision to cut number 88 was a tough one.
It's a challenging situation. A lot of different factors go into these kinds of decisions. And again, the guidepost for all of us is what's in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys. And that's why we made this decision. We wish Dez nothing but the best going forward. He's a special guy. I love him. I will always love him. And the impact that he made on this franchise has been significant.
Greg, we all know that Dez has had diminished production over the last few years, but how hard will it be for the Cowboys to now replace what it was he did give them?
Over his career, it would be a challenge. Over the last 4 seasons, as you alluded to, that won't be hard for them to replace. Dez Bryant has done some great things for the Cowboy organization. I think what Jason Garrett, what we heard, was his true sentiments. When you're a coach, you're developing relationships with these players, and you're not really, we know Jason Garrett isn't making the decisions to sign and release guys. That's not his deal, but he has relationships with these young men. He understands the developmental process. He's been there with Dez Bryant. But to be able to replace that production, it's going to be a collective effort. And, I mean, they were going to get a receiver this year, maybe 2. Dez was hindering the growth of Dak Prescott. And at the end of the day, when you're looking at the Dallas Cowboys, they don't need a whole bunch. But what they did need to do was remove a couple pieces and now insert some more. And Dez just, at this point in his career, he wasn't getting it done, bottom line.
I think that last point you made about Dak is the key one. How do you replace Dez Bryant's production? I don't think the answer is Allen Hurns. I don't think the answer is if you draft a wide receiver, even if you get Calvin Ridley in the draft. I think the answer is the way you replace Dez Bryant's production is through an improved Dak Prescott. I think we showed you the numbers all last year that Dak Prescott was one quarterback when it came to interception percentage or completion percentage, throwing to everyone but Dez, and a far worse quarterback throwing to Dez. I don't have numbers for it, but I just know from talking to people, whatever negative effect he had on, I don't want to say Dak's psyche, but almost Dak's confidence with whether it was griping or whether it was just a fire to win, but that type of, the attitude that didn't necessarily resonate well with the quarterback, that if removing Dez, because you can't make just an X's and O's football argument. Cowboys got better by cutting Dez Bryant. Their salary cap situation got better, but on the field, even a diminished Dez Bryant is better than no player at the position. They didn't trade him. The only way you're saying they're getting better is if they think the offense can be more, have greater variety, and if the quarterback is going to play with more confidence and play better without having the specter of Dez Bryant looming over him. So I think that is the answer to the question.
I think it's very, very important when you get in a situation like this. The question is the productivity. What does it take to replace his productivity? It doesn't take a lot. Dez was 28th in the NFL in yards last year. So actually, 27 other receivers had more yards. When you're talking about getting 800 yards in an NFL game, you're 800 in an NFL season, you're talking about 52 yards a game. Now, I'm not going to say that at this age that I could do that, but I'd be willing to bet a lot of money Greg Jennings could get in an NFL game and get 52 yards. So you're talking about he hasn't played at a high level. They've paid him at the highest level you can pay someone. So let's not trip. His productivity, it can be replaced. I don't believe that wide receivers make quarterbacks bad. All right, so it's easy to sit around and be like, oh, because they cut Dez. Oh, man, Dez's effect on Dak. Man, Dak wasn't that good. All right? So a great quarterback affects a wide receiver and can make him better. But a wide receiver who's pretty good, he don't make a quarterback go from good to bad. All right? So let's not blame all this on Dez. Now, a wide receiver, Greg and I can tell you, we can have an effect on the psyche. We can have an effect on what they're going to do with the football. We can have an effect on that quarterback and what he's looking at on a play-to-play basis. But Dez Bryant's productivity, it can be replaced, and it will be replaced in Dallas.
And the Cowboys obviously know that. They didn't offer him a pay cut to stay. They said, we're good. Whether it's Allen Hurns or someone else, we're going to be just fine with whatever else we have available to us. It's just not going to be you.
Yeah, and I think, again, to CeCe's point, when you talk about a guy and his impact on a quarterback at the receiver position, the impact is when you are demanding and demonstrative about getting the ball, that plays on the quarterback's psyche. That's what he's talking about. So in that regard, I think it now frees up Dak Prescott to go out there and just play. And I have options. I have other guys that I know I can get the ball to. That's not going to be when I walk to the sideline in my ear, or I'm not walking to the sideline thinking, man, I didn't even look at Dez. So I know I'm going to hear something, regardless if it's this game, but leading up to the next game and prolonging into the week. And that mentally weighs on the quarterback, especially a young quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think that was what the Dallas Cowboys was really looking at.
One thing Greg and I think what's really important right now is that offense needs one voice. Now, us wide receivers, man, we talk a lot. Some of us more than others. But we can be a burden to an offense. We can be a burden to a young quarterback. But at this time, what Dallas has with that offensive line, with Jason Witten as the senior guy on that offense, with Ezekiel Elliott coming back after no offseason contract, all the conversation this offseason about Dak, about Dez.
Yeah.
Zeke's going to have a monster year. The way that offense is focused, they need one voice, and it needs to be Dak. So for me, that's where they really came up. It's not the salary cap money. It's not. It's Dak's voice now can be the dominant voice for that offense. That's what's really important for Dallas right now.
All right. Greg, stick around. Coming up, should the Patriots trade up to find Tom Brady's replacement? I can't believe we're even asking such things. That's next on First Things First.
Experience a blend of refined craftsmanship and raw power. Engineered to take the crown. Presenting the all-new Lexus LS500 and LS500H. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Why is their unlimited data so expensive? Who do those guys think they're fooling?
See it all the time.
They expect all of us to share?
So, you're ready to switch.
For the family. Switch to Boost and get 3 lines with unlimited gigs for $100 per month. Plus, get up to 3 free phones with 20 gigs of mobile hotspot on each line. All on the super reliable and super fast nationwide network.
Enjoy your data.
Boost makes it easy to